Okay, before we begin, we'd just like to let everyone know that this is being recorded and can be paused at a later date. Okay, all good.
Okay, everybody stand, please. Sam, can you lead us in the great being? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business is going to be a presentation by the Charter Commission. Introduce yourself.
Thank you, Chair. My name is John Manchin. I'm Policy Director from the Charter Revision Commission, which is placing 5 questions on the ballot on November 4th. I'll have a brief presentation and then stay to answer any of your questions. Thank you very much to the Community Board, to the Chair, and to members of the community for having me down.
Oh, before you begin, it's the last page on your agenda. So if anyone wants to follow with him, we have the 5 questions that there's all listed back.
So on your ballot, the first question is a state law question that I will not be discussing today. It didn't come from the Charter Revision Commission, but then the next 5, questions 2 through 6, were placed on the ballot by the Charter Revision Commission, and that's what we'll be getting into today. Those include 4 questions pertaining to housing, resiliency infrastructure, and planning in New York City, and then a final question, question number 6, on moving elections to even years to sync them up with the federal presidential elections. Briefly, the Charter Revision Commission, 13 members, civic luminaries from across the decade, chaired by Richard Burey, former deputy mayor. He's the person who got universal pre-K off the ground over 10 years ago. Carl Weisbrod, who's been a fixer in city government since the Koch days and even before, and many other folks with experience, particularly with housing, land use, resilience infrastructure, and so forth. Over the course of this year, the commission held 10 public hearings, 2 in each borough, 30 hours of testimony, hundreds and hundreds of people who came to testify, thousands of written comments, and this represents the commission's attempt to distill that into 5 questions that will be on your ballot. So the motivating issues around the Charter Revision Commission were the housing crisis and the climate crisis. Both of those things are increasingly pressing in New York City. The housing shortage, of course, drives extremely high housing costs. It drives high rates of homelessness. It drives segregation. It drives everything we hate about our housing market. As this community district knows very well, we also have a climate crisis that is driving increasing instances of extreme weather, of flooding, of overwhelmed infrastructure. And so this Charter Revision Commission was really looking at the review procedures by which we do things to address the housing shortage or address our infrastructure shortcomings. The land use procedures that the commission was looking at were put in place in the 1980s, before we had a housing crisis, before climate change and this increase in extreme weather was even a glimmer in anybody's eye. Nobody had heard of global warming or climate change back then at all. So the commission, they found a few things in particular about housing. 1 is about the extreme shortage. 2 is also about the extreme inequity and where housing happens in New York City. Community districts like this actually see a fair number of rezonings, increases in housing capacity, affordable housing development, things like that. But there are other parts of the city that see virtually nothing at all. And in the midst of the housing shortage, the commission was trying to look at ways, how do we level up? How do we ensure that every neighborhood in the city is doing its part to address these problems? As you can see on the map in the middle, Brooklyn Community District 13, you actually see a fair number of land use actions relative to other parts of the city. So you're not the problem, it's but other parts of the city, given the existing structure of land use decision making, nothing can happen there at all. Other parts of the city, a ton happens. The commission also noted the way that vital infrastructure projects, say you need to raise a street above the flood elevation so that it doesn't flood every time there's a high tide or every time there's a violent storm or something like that. A lot of times DOT will come in, they'll be replacing a street, but they're not allowed to raise it up 2 feet out of the flood elevation because that would require a change to the city map that has to go through full ULURP, that requires years of pre-certification, and then just not the time and the money in order to do things like that in the course of standard state of good repair work. So the commission was very focused on that. The commission also heard from many people around the city, affordable housing developers, who say, if I have access to a piece of land, the first question I ask is, what council district is it in? If it's in a council district where the council member wants to get to yes, then great, let's do it. Let's create more housing. Let's create more affordable housing. But in vast parts of the city where there's no way in heck that the local council member is going to support it, a developer would just move on to the next and say, forget about it. We'll just leave this vacant lot here. There's no way I'm going to get approval to do affordable housing here. And that has consequences for the city. So many folks participated. Many folks have turned out in support of these proposals. And so I'll describe them now. I would say the thing the commission heard the most from all the people who came to testify is, we need a fast track for affordable housing. People didn't say what they meant by that necessarily, but they said, why do we make affordable housing, publicly supported affordable housing, go through years and years of process when we need it today? So the commission responded in 2 ways. The first one is project-specific approval for publicly financed affordable housing. That is affordable housing that HPD, our housing agency, subsidizes, tends to be 100% affordable at very low incomes, very low rents for people to address the core folks who suffer under our current housing shortage. Under this proposal, if you had a project that was supported by HPD, publicly financed, instead of going through an endless rezoning process that can take 3 years to get to your approvals and then a few years after that to build it, you would be able to go to the Board of Standards and Appeals, which is a 5-member board appointed by the mayor with city council advice and consent, 1 person from each borough. You could go to the Board of Standards and Appeals and say, I need this modification to zoning in order to build my publicly financed affordable housing project. I'd have to meet neighborhood character findings, so you have to fit in with the neighborhood, and you have to have the support of HPD. If you do that, then instead of going through years-long rezoning, you would be able to go through a relatively quick process at the Board of Standards and Appeals and put shovels in the ground. One thing I really, that the commission really appreciates about this proposal is that the approvals are project-specific. What you see is what you get. So there's a project not too far from here, affordable housing project, went to get a rezoning for 100% affordable. Everybody says, great, who could be against 100% affordable? The financing fell through and it became something else. The rezoning happened and it just became a shelter. And people have been pretty upset about that what they were promised through the process is not what they got at the other end. And this set of approvals, this fast track, would ensure that the only thing that could happen with these approvals is the project that was approved. If the financing falls through or whatever, nothing has changed. The zoning is the same as it was. And so it's great for affordable housing developers. It's great for communities as well. Okay, next. The commission heard a ton about the way some community districts produce, on average, almost 1,000 units of affordable housing per year, where other community districts produce virtually 0. You guys are somewhere in the middle. So this one, in order to ensure that we can build affordable housing in all parts of the city, all community districts can contribute, would do this. every 5 years, the Department of City Planning and HPD would look at how much affordable housing has been produced in each community district relative to the number of housing units that are already there. The bottom 12, therefore the bottom fifth, the kind of the lowest producers of the lowest, would have fast track approval process for projects that included affordable housing. What's that process look like? It would be 60 days at the community board, so the same as ULURP today, simultaneous review by the borough president, and then 30 days at the city planning commission, and that's it. So a fast track approval, 90 days for projects that include affordable housing in those 12 community districts that produce the least. And that would be reassessed every 5 years. Okay, next. You've heard of ULURP, Uniform Land Use Review Procedure. This is ELURP, Expedited Land Use Review Procedure, for certain categories of projects like modest increases in housing capacity or crucial, vital resilience infrastructure projects, or other projects related to affordable housing, would be able to go through an expedited land use review procedure. Again, 60 days at the community board, so not reducing community board review by a day, simultaneous review by the borough president, and then 30 days at the city planning commission, and that's it. What type of projects qualify for that? Modest increases in residential capacity. I would say the commission was very strong on ULURP. They love ULURP. ULURP works really well for most projects, but there are certain types of projects like modest increases in housing that it doesn't work for, or in certain parts of the city where it doesn't work. So over the last 10 years, there have been 0 rezonings for less than a 30% increase in density. If you're going to go through the trouble of going through ULURP, people want to double or triple their capacity. They want to get a big upside to justify all that time and money. That means that we don't see in this community or others around the city more modest changes that could enable neighborhoods to kind of grow and change organically over time. What you see instead are doubling or tripling, and people are reasonably anxious about zoning changes that are like that. So the commission wanted to create a pathway for more modest changes. And then the other big category here is for climate, infrastructure, and open space. We heard from all the agencies like DEP or Parks and Recreation, folks who work on these issues, how hard it is just to get to the starting line, just to get approvals for these projects, and how much infrastructure spending, how many infrastructure projects get left on the table because a site selection or a city map change or confirming jurisdiction on the city map would take so long in order to do it. So for resiliency infrastructure, for things like sewer upgrades, these types of things have access to the expedited review procedure. 60 days at community borough president, 30 days at city planning commission. So things like, I mentioned the street grade raisings, things that are a no-brainer. If you're replacing the street, let's get it above the flood elevation so that people can get in and out safely when they need to, so it doesn't flood every time it rains. There are other parts of the city, not too far away from here, where people are in harm's way, where people, 1-2 family homeowners who want to, sell their property to the city so that they can move to a safer place. Did you know that a single family homeowner who wants to accept a flood buyout has to go through full ULURP? That's a couple years for a single family homeowner who just wants to get out of harm's way yesterday. So this would provide an all would have to be voluntary to get out of flood's way or get out of harm's way. Things like that. If you need to get open space if the government needs to get open space in order to provide resiliency buffers or to create other vital storm infrastructure, it would have access to this expedited procedure as well. That was the other huge concern of the commission, is a resilience and infrastructure, especially around issues of flooding in communities like this. So next, the last of the 3 questions that focus pretty squarely on housing and resilience issues, there would be what's called an Affordable Housing Appeals Board. That is, in parts of the city where today affordable housing projects don't have a hope and a prayer of getting through ULURP, again, because they would lack support of the local community member. The council as a whole would defer to the wishes of the local community member. And so we never hear about these projects. They never get off the ground. In these types of, for affordable housing projects, this would provide an appeals board, including the mayor, the affected borough president, and the city council speaker, that would be able to overturn disapproval of affordable housing projects, that are within one borough. For big citywide actions, like just came through, the community board last year, nothing would change. But for individual applications that provide affordable housing, it would provide a pathway. It would provide motivation for city council to get to yes on affordable housing projects that include affordable housing in parts of the city where today they don't have a hope and a prayer, where they can't happen. Next, this one's a little more technocratic, but long overdue. I don't know how many of you know that the official city map, the map that shows where all the streets are, where all the parks are, it's really important for housing or for infrastructure projects. We don't have a single city map. It's divided into 5. It was never consolidated. It's in all the borough halls in the 5 corners of the city. And in fact, much of it is on these canvas maps from, could be from the 1800s, could be from the early 1900s. And so if you're doing a housing project, or if you're doing a resiliency project where you need to confirm the jurisdiction, like in a waterfront area where property ownership tends to be really complicated and messy and tricky, it can add years to your project, months or years to your project, just to figure out who has jurisdiction over all that land. So this question would consolidate the city map into a single city map, centralize administration at city planning, and then digitize it so that you do not have to go to Kew Gardens and look at a canvas map from 1923 in order to do this thing. You can confirm in minutes from the comfort of your own home on the official digital city map. So that's that one. Next, I mentioned even year elections. We in New York City, as you know, as we're about to participate in, have odd year elections or mayoral elections. What does that mean? It has meant that turnout has gone lower and lower and lower and lower and lower on these obviously extremely important local elections in New York City. Who runs the city? Back in late 60s, early 70s, we had 80% voter turnout. Today last election was like 20-some%. That's an issue. What other jurisdictions have found is that if you line local and federal, that you instantly double or even triple your turnout, so more people have a say in who runs the city, how it's run, and so forth. Extremely important thing to make clear here. In order to move to even year elections, it requires city action and it requires state action. This would be the city action. This would not the next day mean that we have even year elections in New York City. It would just get the city action out of the way, put pressure on the state to act to move New York City elections to even years like they did for the rest of the state not too long ago. So what we're doing now is we're just coming out, the Charter Revision Commission and staff coming out, trying to give a brief presentation, trying to answer any questions that you have. Early voting begins on the 25th of this month. Election day is on the 4th, and we are happy to answer any of your questions between now and then. Thank you very much for having me.
Questions?
Basically, the proposal 3 is calling for the ELR is calling for the process to practically cut off our the community board. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding. Is there a data to support that instead of having the local places us? And in a question 4, where the proposal made out of 3 people, which council, speaker, borough president, and mayor, but none of the local elected officials. Is there a data or actually efficient and effective for abstracting the process?
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, extremely important for the shortened community board review by even a single day, and so it doesn't. None of these proposals shorten community board review by even a single day. And yes, the final report includes a lot of research, a lot of data on the types of projects that do not happen, cannot happen under the existing ULURP procedure. Again, the commission loves ULURP. It works really well for a lot of different types of projects, but it's one size fits all. It takes the same amount of process to do the dispositions for Hudson Yards as it does to dispose of a 2-inch strip of property to an adjacent property owner in your neighborhood. The same exact process. And so there are certain types of things that don't happen. And those modest changes to zoning, like one step up the zoning ladder. Those don't happen today because ULURP is so big that if you're going through ULURP anyway, you're going to double or you're going to triple. So those small things don't happen. I mentioned infrastructure and resilience projects that don't happen. Raising a street grade a foot or two as part of state of good repair doesn't happen because you have to go through a full-on ULURP in order to do a city map change, which by the way is really complicated because it's scattered to the 5 corners of the city and it's really outdated. So what the commission was trying to do is say, we love the current ULURP pipeline. It's absolutely fantastic. It's totally appropriate that city council reviews things like Hudson Yards or things like that, or even, the types of rezonings that they review today. But with 36 years of experience with the current process, we want to create pathways for types of projects that would be extremely beneficial that the current system doesn't allow. The status quo is absolutely not working, and so we need to make it a little bit better.
Yeah, thank you. So the fact that you're here today shows that you know how important community input is, right? And so yes, okay, the process maintains community board input, but we're an advisory board, right? Our vote's not binding. City council's vote under the current process is binding. And proposals 2 and 3 completely remove city council's ability to vote. And 4 allows the board to overturn city council's vote. And as you yourself said, they tend to vote the way the local city council member votes. And this is the person that we, the community, elected to represent our voice. So isn't this in effect stripping the community's voice from these very decisions?
And so, like when I laid out the presentation, all the types of things that the community board and the council review today, they'll still be doing it in the future. The types of projects that we are talking about in question 3, for instance, ELURP, those are almost entirely things that simply do not happen today at all. You don't see them, they don't come through at all. If these questions get voted down, then it'll stay that way. We'll have the status quo, we'll continue not to see those types of projects. And that would be, it would make it harder for us to work our way out of the housing shortage. The one exception, the type of projects that sure we do see today, but it takes so much time and costs so much money that we want to streamline them because we know they're good, are the resilience and the flood infrastructure projects. Yes, city agencies can get their act together. They can put together a ULURP application. They can take it all the way through. City council is typically going to approve those, right? But it just takes so gosh darn long. It costs so much money that it's such a shame when half the money for an affordable housing project goes to 2 years of ULURP, and millions of dollars that could shore up an infrastructure project go to process for things that we know that we need and that everybody likes. And so there is a trade-off between more process and how much you can get out the other side of these things that we really need as a city to address those twin crises, the housing and the climate crisis. And so the Charter Revision Commission thinks that they are making that balance well in a way that will really address the crises while leaving in place.
Elaine, and then mine.
Good evening, everybody. In today's ULURP, let's say there are 4 steps: community board, borough president, city planning, and city council. You're moving entire city council, the only entity which is not advisory, the only entity that listens to community. I can give you 300 examples, but I'll give you the last one. City of Yes, which I personally found being disaster. But working with our local council members, we were able to force for certain conditions, not only in housing city of yes, but also in business park. So who are you benefiting by changing the process? You are benefiting developers. You are not benefiting people who are looking for housing for one and only reason. Because the term affordable housing being used today pretty often. But 80% except HPD funded housing, 80% of housing being built is not affordable. So what charter commission, whatever commission should work on to change this, it's a state, I understand, to change area medium income requirements, to change Article 21, because what are you proposing? I'm not talking about infrastructure part, okay? I'm talking about housing part, and it's pure, I'm really sorry to say, but that's how I feel. It's pure speculation, talking about crisis benefiting developers only. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good question. So I'll give you an example. The most powerful moment of testimony for me during the process was up at Fordham in one of the hearings in the Bronx, where an affordable housing developer, a woman named Erica Keller from an outfit called Brissa Builders, testified. She wanted to build 100% affordable housing development in Queens. She comes into city planning. They say, okay, you need a rezoning. She says, great. City planning says, well, you need to expand the rezoning area so that you have a rational map. She says, fine. That captures a parking lot that has a ton of development potential. She has to do an EIS. She says, oh, really? Okay, fine. Takes her 2 years. Costs her a better part of $1 million to do it. She gets to Euler. Everybody loves the project, gets all the way through. City council at the end cuts out all the non-applicant sites anyway. She went through an extra 2 years, an extra $1 million for something that under proposal number, fast track for affordable housing, she could have just gone right to the Board of Standards and Appeals, said, I want a project specific approval for what I want to do. It fits in with neighborhood character. I have the support of HPD, be done with it. That wasted millions of dollars could have been used to create more affordable units or to drive down the incomes for the drive down rents in the project. And so I would say that the folks that we heard from the most during this process were not developers. They were all the housing advocacy organizations around the city, the housing policy people, yes, some affordable housing developers. And they said, this is what we need in order to do our jobs, in order to address the housing crisis in the city. Does that involve making things easier for people who build housing and affordable housing? You bet it does. But that benefits all of us. That's what the commission was trying to do with these proposals.
I'm really sorry, there are reasons. I'm not talking about community boards only. I'm talking about community boards, borough president, and local council member. There are reasons people oppose some projects.
Oh no, absolutely. You're totally right. I mean, we just had the Charter Revision Commission got sued by council members from parts of the city that no way, no how are ever gonna approve any housing in their districts. And is that good? Is it good that that's how the process works today? Some people would say yes, some people would say no, but it puts pressure on communities like this who do say yes, who do build housing, and who nonetheless see their housing costs go up, who see homeless people on the street and everything like that. In order to address these things, the commission wants to find a way to approve modest amounts of housing in districts of the council members who sued to try to keep these questions off the ballot.
Let's move on, Mike. We'll have Michael move over.
Two questions. However, piggybacking on to what Jessica said earlier, you are removing the local council person who we put into office, who in theory has our backs, the community's backs, you're removing him or her from the process, correct?
Again, the ULURP that you guys see today will continue to operate exactly as it does today. With 36 years of experience, we have identified very clearly in the final report the types of projects that do not happen in ULURP. Those are modest types of changes. Those are modest types of changes. Those are resiliency projects that take too long. And those are rezonings of parts of the city where, unlike this community, people do not say yes. So absolutely, if you want to address the housing shortage, if you want to address the resiliency issue, the status quo ain't working. And so these are the changes to the process that the commission recommended.
However, no. No, be.
These processes do not exist today. These projects do not happen today because, ULURP that you see remains unchanged. We are trying to create processes that will allow new types of projects to happen. If, I know that people really like ULURP. ULURP will remain in place as a one-size-fits-all process. There are certain types of smaller things that it does not work for, and we all suffer for it.
Not against it, but where is it written that it's only certain projects and not gonna wind up covering all the ones that it does now?
I mean, the categories are presented in this presentation. The final report is where it lays out precisely what qualifies for expedited land use review procedure and what doesn't. If you look back at all the ULURPs from the last 10 years, the ULURP rezonings, you will find that a big fat 0 rezoning in medium and high density districts would have been able to go through ELURP. 0, a big fat 0. And so we can have the status quo and we can ensure that modest changes continue not to happen. But the commission said, we want to find a way for more modest types of changes to happen as part of a suite of ways to address the housing shortage. And they think it makes a lot of sense.
The last question is, question 6. You talk about the certain areas, certain states that have changed to even year and found in some cases that voting is actually up because it's all been. But you didn't speak about the areas that ballot fatigue sets in. And by the time somebody gets to the end of a ballot that is now 2 or maybe even 3 pages long,
Could be 4 pages.
what it will be at that point.
I mean, there's a lot of research on this. It's
Yeah.
there is, and the benefit you get from doubling or tripling turnout outweighs any voter drop off from ballot fatigue by factors of 100. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
One more question? Chris?
I want to be clear on it. Hearing the voices of the community, and every time that refers to infrastructure and policy in these 36 years that we're talking about, must have something indicative of being able to speak for please to strip the community voices, because this is democracy. Can you answer that question? Can you just answer one of the questions tonight?
Sorry, what's the question?
Well, never asked the question.
I mean, I made a presentation on the process. I answered several versions of the same. Here's a diagram of the expedited land use review procedure for everybody to take a look at. It's included in the presentation. There's CPC is certainly there. Yeah, in order to facilitate types of projects and in projects in parts of the city where they absolutely cannot happen today, this is the process recommended by the Charter Revision Commission. So people will have to weigh whether they want the status quo to continue, these types of projects not to happen, or whether they think certain nips and tucks to the process are advisable in order to enable things like modest changes to zoning, which we don't see today. When you see ULURPs here, it's a doubling or a tripling to make sure infrastructure projects can happen faster, to ensure that a single family homeowner doesn't have to wait 3 years to do a voluntary buyout and get out of harm's way. So, I mean, the Charter Revision Commission heard all these perspectives, and this is their attempt to balance those.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
For the moment presentation. I want to just tell everybody really investigate and come up with your own values and procedures in this Charter Revision Commission report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you, Chair, it's the community board to the community. Appreciate it.
We move on to the public section.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey. You're still good, right? You're still- Oh, here we go. We got traffic.
Good evening, everyone. Christopher D. Grive. Just to remind everyone, there are brochures in the back, and I did put my report to the secretary and the district manager and chair. Just to remind everyone that coming up next week, the MTA will be doing their IBX. Will be that will be at Brooklyn College, which will be 2710 Campus Road. That looks like it will be the Whitman Hall. So that will be, and I hope remind them to please make sure to put signs in so it gives people directions. Other thing also, we do have. Other things we do have, the good news is on the MTA end is we're gonna be adding more customer service centers. As you know, you have one in Coney Island, but moving on up, there will be a couple of stations in Brooklyn, like 36th Street on the DNR, Church Avenue on the B&Q, J Street Metrotech on the AC and FNR, and much more. That has been sent to the community board, and they will make sure that goes out to everyone, and it's also been on the MTA press. Also remind everyone, November 14th to the 17th, November 21st to the 24th. There will be no Q train service from Stowell Avenue to Passaic Park, as they're doing the track replacement and some signal and other maintenance work that has to be done immediately. As to remind everyone, there will be 2 shuttle buses. One that starts from Coney Island will run local up to Kings Highway, then express to Passaic Park. The other one will start at Kings Highway and run local to Passaic Park. All this information is on the MTA website and was sent to, I know Anthony Drum has sent this out already and will be reminded again. Also, there's a pamphlet in the back, as my other hat I wear, the Accessibility Transportation President. There is a forum going on November 20th in the downtown Brooklyn Library, which is Cameron Plaza, from 5 to 7. All that information is in the back, and I wish everyone happy Halloween and please be safe. All brochures and stuff is in the back. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
I think that's fine.
And then there. Adriana Mitchell from Brooklyn Public Library.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, board, for having me and give my announcements. My name is Adriana Mitchell. I'm the manager of the Brighton Beach Dance. System-wide, we have a new chief librarian. Edwin Maxwell is our new chief librarian. Edwin began his librarian career at BPL as a trainee and serving communities at Central, Walt Whitman, and Clinton Hill libraries, among dozens of other branches. And upon earning his master in library science, he became a young adult librarian, moving up the ranks to branch manager of the new lots. So if you get an opportunity, please congratulate him. We also have a program that's called Ready, Set, Kindergarten. It's back. So it's 6 sessions. Please look at our website for further information about this. Culture Pass, it's one of those benefits you can get with your library card. And at any location, we can help you and assist you to reserve access to many. You can visit Culture Pass at www.culturepass.com. NYC, but we can also assist you to access that at any local library. I also just wanted to highlight a few programs that are happening at the Brighton Beach branch. One of them is Narcan training on Saturdays. We have also welcome English classes on Mondays and Thursdays, English conversation for speakers of other languages on Mondays, and we have an upcoming event to kick off the holiday celebrations on November 20th. I will have a calendar of events for the Brighton Beach Library in the back. And if anybody is here from Assemblyman Alec Krasny's office, if not, please, if you get the opportunity, please say thank you on behalf of Brighton Beach for their funds granted to Brighton Beach Library. We really appreciate it greatly. And I think that's it on my part. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, Daniel Murphy. From the Alliance.
The Alliance for Coney Island.
Alliance of Coney Island. Well, everybody would know that.
Sorry about that. So I don't have much to say tonight, except for I wanted to inform you guys that the community board has for years put in its list of requests to the city a business improvement to the district for Coney Island. We're really happy to announce that this morning, the City Planning Commission in New York City, that has a lot of ULURP talk before, followed this board's desires and its recommendation from last month, as the borough president did, and took another step forward to getting Coney Island the business improvement district it deserves, to bring every ship on our ocean higher with a higher tide. So we are going to get more services for more businesses for Coney Island starting as soon as next fiscal year for the city. I don't want to jinx anything, but I just feel like I have to come to this community board tonight to thank you guys. We're not there yet, but we're closer along, and you guys have everything to do with it. Thank you so much. And while I'm here, I want to remind you guys, November 1st, we were going to have our Halloween and Harvest Fest, the Saturday, November 1st, the day after Halloween, but kids will still please plenty of candy for the kids. There will be wristbands for the first 500 kids for Luna Park for 3 hours of all the rides they can take on Luna Park. When they show up, they have to sign a waiver first, and we are looking for volunteers still for that event. So if you want to volunteer at Maimonides Park on November 1st, Saturday, and help us out, please just follow up with the community board. They have a direct line to us, and we'll have more information, or email me directly at daniel@allianceforconeyisland.org. Thanks again, guys, and have a great meeting, and thank you so much. See you next week.
Thank you very much. Jonathan Castro, Cert 13.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan Castro. I am the CERT chief for Brooklyn Division 5, which covers Coney Island. I know a lot of you. We're always in the community helping out. We help, the police department, the 6-0. We also cover Bay Ridge and Bensonhurst. And I feel proud to say that I live in Coney Island and I serve this community. I know that when I was living in the Bronx, I always said that Coney Island was a really important place. When I have the opportunity to serve the community, and if you're interested in participating for us for the emergency management CERT, you can find us on the website and emergency management, and also you can reach out to me, and we are more than welcome to help you out for the parade. We'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Abigail Savage, Law.
Hi, good evening, Community Board 13. My name is Abigail Pavachlu. I reside in Community Board 12. I'm here today because my husband and my friend go to Kingsbridge Community College, and traveling there from Community Board 12, they usually pass through Community Board 13. Both of them are African American Brooklynites and have faced repeated anti-Black racism while traveling through Community Board 13 to get to campus. And both have been reporting greater animosity since the election. And I just wanted to bring this to the board's attention in the hopes that this body might help to take more action to prevent further incidents of anti-Black hate crimes. I also want to acknowledge that there are African American residents of this district present who know far more than I do about living in this district and about these issues. But I will just go over some of the incidents that have happened briefly. So my husband encountered the N-word written in 2 separate locations in this district. Once in chalk, once in Sharpie. We've included photos that I'll give you. So that was just something he had to encounter on the way to school. My friend was spit on a few years ago. She also entered a store where she was told that none of the items were for sale for her. And there have been other more subtle things like my friend was trying to rent an apartment in the district. The landlord refused to believe in her CV record. And a Russian friend of hers was able to translate some of the BrightonBeachNews.com articles to her, and was all and which she found very upsetting because they were saying things about Black Lives Matter movement that were extremely inappropriate. So all of this is just to say that I urge the district to invest resources in public messaging and or a more detailed investigation of these issues. Just because all residents of Brooklyn should feel safe coming to school, getting their education, working. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, it's very, very upsetting to the people of Short from CD 13. And please email us, you can email directly to me and to the district manager, Eddie Mark. Okay, thank you, and we'll see what we can take care of this. The last speaker is going to be the American Breast Cancers. I don't have your name, so just
Good evening, everyone. My name is Renee Renier. I work with the American Cancer Society, and I'm here. It's nice to meet you, Jonathan. We've spoken a few times. It's also to let you know that we're hosting this is the 22nd annual Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk this Sunday at Coney Island Boardwalk and Maimonides Park. It starts at 8 and ends at 12. All are welcome in the community to participate, and also to raise awareness about cancer. Breast cancer, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed in their lifetime with breast cancer. That means there is probably about 67, 68 people in here. That means anywhere between 7 and 8 people in this room will be diagnosed with cancer. So think about that. That is something very important and critical to think about, and to take advantage of the resources that are available. I see there's information about the mobile van. When it comes into your community, share the resources, and to those who are unable to get screening, and if you are, take advantage of it. It's October. Yes, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but cancer does not sleep. It's not only 1 month, and men are also affected by breast cancer. So please do what you can to be around, take care of yourself, and come out in solidarity for this Sunday to participate and celebrate our survivorship and those who in our loved one, so we can continue to do what we can to raise awareness. Thank you for having me.
thank you, everyone. We'll move on to elected officials and reps. Borough President Office Lucas.
Hey, everybody. I'm Lucas, representing the Borough President, Antonio Reynoso. The last time I was here, I know that I disappointed some people by not bringing swag. So for every new member that just started, there will be swag. I'm gonna give it to Eddie. I've got the pins. On the topic of pins, we're actually continuing the pin competition throughout the rest of October. It's gonna end November 2nd. The last time I was here, I was talking about that. So please take a look at this in the back. You know, someone who wants to design a pin, get them to submit by November 2nd. We're gonna be having a shred day. That's gonna be on the 25th. So if you can make it up to CB14, if you have sensitive documents that you don't feel comfortable putting in the recycling or the trash, please bring them out. We'll shred them for you. And then the last thing is if you want a dog or a cat, we are going to be doing the Adopt a Shelter program outside of Borough Hall. That's the 25th from 11 to 4 p.m. That's all I've got. Thanks, y'all. Oh, congrats to the Alliance. Very happy to see you one step closer.
All the from states in this game.
Good evening, everyone. The Senator wanted me to share a few items with you. Governor Kathy Hochul has signed the Senator's legislation, Senate Bill S 3323A, known as the Ellie Parker Levitt Law, into law. This law will ensure that commercial health insurance policies in New York cover medically necessary ultrasounds when recommended by a nationally clinical practice guidelines. The law is named in honor of Ellie Parker Levitt, who was born prematurely at 23 weeks in 2020 and tragically passed away shortly after birth due to an undiagnosed condition that could have been detected and treated through a simple, non-invasive ultrasound during pregnancy. No parent should face the heartbreak of losing a child to a preventable complication. The Senator was proud to have championed Ellie Parker Levitt's law to ensure expecting mothers in New York can receive critical testing to detect these complications before they become fatal. Number two, the Senator is sponsoring a Thanksgiving student showcase. Students are encouraged to submit an essay, poem, or artwork describing what they are thankful for this year. Entries must be submitted electronically by November 21st at spanton.nysenate.gov. I have flyers in the back if you think any students would be interested in that. Excuse me? Somebody saying something? Oh, okay. Okay. Our office is located on West 8th Street by the motor vehicles. So if there's anything that we maybe help you with, please do not hesitate to call our office. I left cards in the back with our offices and our phone numbers. And we're open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And there are other phone numbers on the card that you may be interested in. All right, and that's it for tonight.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Cox, Erica.
Good evening. First, I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out to our bike helmet giveaway this Sunday. We gave out over 300 helmets to the community. Yes, it was very successful. We had bike etching and it was so nice to see everybody coming by, grabbing a helmet, catching the kids riding with no helmet off the street. Aside from that, we have, being it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we have the mammogram truck coming to our office next Thursday. So it's still not too late to make your appointment. Free mammograms. You don't have insurance, you will still get a mammogram. And then the second Monday of every month, we have a veteran service officers in our office assisting with health benefits, dependent benefits, education benefits, and so on. I left some flyers in the back, and that's it. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much, Erica. Coming from Councilman Brandon's office, Zanera.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Zunaira Ahmed. I'm Deputy Chief of Staff for Councilman Justin Brannon. Always love being at CB13. Some recent updates. We held a senior picnic in partnership with NIA Community Services. It was a wonderful gathering of our seniors. We worked with tenant associations and senior centers, and it was just a good time. And our way to say that we appreciate our seniors and we want to create more spaces for socialization and community with them. We held a community town hall at the Y. It was the big question of what's next for the former site where the proposed casino was. I appreciate everyone that attended and gave feedback at that event. Please continue to engage with our office. There was a lot of ideas, but also a lot of quality of life concerns and things that we can continue to work on right now. I just wanted to mention October 28th, next week, we have the NILAG mobile van. It's a legal clinic, free services for civil lawsuits that you are thinking about. There is a limited number of topics that they could assist with. So if you're interested in an appointment on October 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., please call the office. I have flyers in the back for you. And our office is located at, you can reach us by phone or email, and I have our red office cards also in the back. Thank you.
Okay. The approval of the minutes. Okay. Second. Yeah.
I was present there. In the list of.
No, you weren't. You were, there's only one person out last month, which was very, very unusual. But your name is in there. Your name is in there as the president. Yes, it is.
One meeting, fine, it is.
It is. You're only one person out last month, and you were not that person.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Yeah, ready. That's okay. That's okay.
No problem.
Demetrius Blau. Yeah. Lakeisha Bowers. Yeah. Deborah Carter. Marion Cleaver. Charlene Davis. Lolita Divalova. Yeah. Jennifer Dublin. Yeah. Alda Fort. Natasha Franklin. Roman Giddens. Taj Graham. Helena Grant. Ronald Greenberg. Barbara Garvell. Jeannie Hernandez. Thomas Hopeful. Maxim Ibadov. Jacqueline Johnson.
Miss.
Yeah, it should be there. It should be, yeah. Yeah. I say, yeah, there doesn't be anything.
Not a tendency. Vote on the minute.
Yeah.
Yuri Krasner. Angela Kravchenko. Yeah. Victoria Kugelik. Melissa Mai. I'm here.
No,
Delana Mockman.
Yes.
Vinnie Mankita.
Yes.
Mark Martin.
Yes.
Richard Molieri.
Yes.
Maria Montalvo.
Yes.
Alan Newman. Pat O'Brien. Robin Parasite. Nadra.
Yeah.
Milagros Quillis. Cameron Kufkin. Jeffrey Sanoff.
Yes.
Fran Schwartz. Yes. Tatiana Stiga. Yes. Nicholas Marine. Michael Silverman.
Yes.
Sheila Small. Vladislav Spector.
Yes.
Jennifer Thorpe Matone.
Here. Yes, yes.
Good question.
Andre Ticomaron.
Yeah.
Tanya Vasilevsky.
Yes.
Dennis Gutierrez. Joanne White.
Yes.
Annette Wesley. Yeah. Svetlana Zolciani. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Move on to the chairperson report. If you would like to see the videos for our committee meetings and general board meetings, you can find links on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Call the office if you need help getting the links. Letters were sent out to our elected officials to find out what is needed to form an enterprise in the conference zone on Mermaid Avenue commercial corridor. These are designated areas where businesses get incentives to establish or expand. Programs include funding and tax incentives. Businesses are encouraged to hire local residents. There are currently a few vacancies on CD 13. Lucas, Borough Hall is aware, and we hope that they will fill these vacancies soon. We would like to thank the New York City Department of Transportation for responding to complaints about the numerous advertising signs that were posted on the fencing along Shore Parkway, across from Lincoln High School and across from South Brooklyn Health. All those signs have been removed. A massive new development is planned for the shoreline of Grayson Bay, just north of Calvert Road Park. Although the project will go through ULUR, it has not been certified yet. However, because of the very large complex project, scoping was done for the future environmental impact statement. Scoping provides general information about the project and describes some of the topics that will be investigated further in the environmental impact statement. The presentation about the scoping was made at a recent land use committee meeting, and the committee submitted comments containing the issues raised at that meeting. October 31st is Halloween, and there will be many events in the community. We know that everyone will have a great time and be very safe with the kids and yourself. Veterans Day is November 11th. Please remember those who serve in our armed forces and thank them for their service. Election Day is coming up, and it's very important that people vote. There are candidates running for various offices, and there are several important propositions on the ballot. Early voting starts on October 25th and continues through November 2nd. Election Day is November 4th, and for more information, go to nycvotes.org. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, Eddie, District Manager report.
Okay, we got the fun stuff now. We have the capital, and expense, district meeting for 2027. I got a copy of it, guys, was sent to your houses. Sorry that we didn't enlarge it large, print larger, only because we. But as you see, we put in, the new format now, instead of doing numerical order as we did in past, they did it in agencies. So every agency had their priority. We'll work on the priorities next year, which will go first, but they'll look at all the information that we submitted to them. If there's any questions, we're gonna go through, look into it. Basically, the capital is the same, with expense. And there are a couple new things that we put in there. Not gonna go over them, I have to be all too. And it's in there. Is there any questions or thing that we might have forgotten in? This is due on October 31st. So whatever is needed or mentioned, we're going to do it by that next week. Alright, but we need to vote on it. So if you want to, we're going to do yes, motion, thank you, motion, second, it's done. Alright. For the capital, the capital, and, thank you. District meeting.
Okay, as roll calls. Call down.
I need Trish Loud. Lakeisha Ballard. Deborah Carter. Lolita Jamalova. Yes. Jennifer Dublin. Yeah. Natasha Franklin. Roman Giddens. Ronald Green. Barbara Garmel. Thomas Hopeful. Maxine Iberdo. Jacqueline Johnson. Yeah. Angela Kravchenko. Yeah. Gloria Kugelitz. Yeah. Melissa Mai. Elena Mockman. Yeah. Minnie Nick. Yeah. Mark Marnick. Yes. Richard Malieri. Robin Harris. Yeah. Nadra. Yeah. Milagros Close. Sam Rakowski. Yes. Jeffrey Stanhope. Yes. Fran Schwartz. Tatiana Stiego. Yes. Michael Silverman. Yes. Vladislav Spector. Yes. Jennifer Thorpe Muscombe. Yes. Andre Chikomarov. Yes. Vanya Vasilevsky. Yes. Dennis Vidaris. Joanne White. Yes. Annette Leslie. Yes. Svetlana Zelenskaya.
Yes. Okay, for this manager report, a couple of things that we have, in fact, and in November. I know that all the funding that we heard them all. November, let's see. First meeting that we're gonna have in November is November 5th, which is gonna be the Parks Department, dealing with Kaiser Park scoping, design. Parks taking the input, they run it out over a couple times, and now they're going with the final design. When they go out for construction. Resiliency, meeting that we're gonna have on November 11th, which is gonna be about, 12, November 12th, 11th. The 12th, it's gonna be about emergency preparedness, presentation. Then we're gonna have liquor license on the 13th. And speaking about that, the meeting, or the next meeting is gonna be on the 19th. Not gonna have it on the 26th, because the 26th day before Thanksgiving, Wednesday, and so the day before Thanksgiving, not on the 26th, but if you're gonna be around the 26th, you can have the Thanksgiving dinner at Thanksgiving. So mark your calendar for that day. 19th, so I want to hear no excuse that you were here. People who have haven't gotten our who haven't gotten our newsletter, call our office, give us your email address, and talk to them about the things that having in the community meetings that are having. 20 Island Phase 4, we're gonna be having a meeting about that, within the next, couple of weeks to discuss the development, how it's gonna affect people who live on Neptune Avenue, West 12, the Ocean Parkway. And this is not me, we're gonna have it with, the next. They don't know about it because it's gonna affect their attendance and budget and business. Phase 4, this is phase 3 is what you see on West. They're almost finished with it, once they finish that, they'll go to phase 4. So,
What is it called? Where does phase 4 come?
oh, I just mentioned it, well, that's what I did for West, the Ocean Park. So, yeah, it's gonna be out, so we're gonna have, people. What thing? On, go ahead, I'm listening to you.
Notify the.
And development.
And development.
This is what they're.
To them. Everybody.
Everybody. No, they're not. No,
We have to be affected by it. Yep.
yeah.
That's fair.
It's gonna be here, it's one, our next one, that we can, the Vegas, like, so we're gonna, the following week is 26. Each day before Thanksgiving. No. Alright, also, West Elm Street, I haven't, know what they're having. There had been an open street, for PS 90. They started it, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, with the big meeting. Between the hours of 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Where there's no parking in the middle of the street, but we did run freely. So far it's good. We haven't heard any yet, and and they will only do this where it's weather degree, anything less than 50 degrees or colder than that way. And if there's rain, the stay will time. So it's most likely they're pretty much will finish by now, and they'll start up in March. All right, and that's it.
Okay, moving on to communications and correspondence, Milagros.
Listen. I'm sorry, I think I'm still in the afternoon. Children Halloween Festival is gonna be Saturday, November 1st, in Family Park, 1904 Fifth Avenue, and this is gonna be presented by Alan Coney Island between 11 and 2 p.m. We have Knowledge is Key, Community Resources Fair. This is gonna be October 28th, 5 to 7 at Liberation Plus, Diploma Plus, 2865 West 19th Street. And we have in October 25th at Dino Wonderwheel Park, Arias Big Witch. Oh man, sounds interesting. And it's gonna be October 25th between 1:30 and 5 p.m. Community baby shower hosted by Fidelity's Care on Wednesday, October 29th, between 12 and 2 p.m. at 130 Brighton Beach Avenue, the third floor. Okay?
Okay, next, moving on, the treasury report, Yuri Pratt. Yuri Pratt couldn't make it tonight, so anyone, give the trend.
Okay, real quick, everybody, we're doing report on first water. Basically, we have purchase share, and also with the top year rental, you know, cleaning for office and a subscription for house contact. And everything else we see telephone and electricity and rent, we don't pay, because that is handled by the. But if there's any questions, please call and this is for.
Moving on to the committee reports, land use committee, Sam Bukowski and chair, and Angela Parchenko vice chair.
And
good evening, everyone. So I'm here to report on land use committee meeting that we had on October 9th. So we had a quorum at the meeting. We had 2 items on our agenda. The first reviewed Europe application for Seaside Park and Community Arts Center. So Seaside Park, not the one that in front of the aquarium, but the small one next to the amphitheater. So amphitheater, small park, and child's restaurant. It's called Community Arts Center. So there is an application for it. The project involves a special permit for an amphitheater with a maximum capacity of 6,000 people. The Economic Development Corporation presented the proposal, which includes waivers for parking. They don't need 66 parking spots for signage, loading requirements. The city plans to issue RFP to select operators. It will be this month to select operators after the current lease expires in 2026. So our committee had an extensive discussion about the community benefits and accountability, which you all come to watch. I'm not gonna go through all. It was a lot. We recognize that this is our opportunity to ensure that the community voice is heard and as we will not be part of RFP process. So that's our only time to get some input. The committee approved the Europe application with 8 important conditions. I'm going briefly, you have them in your minutes in your packets. So it will have annual community accountability reports to be submitted to our council member and a community board with clear consequences of non-compliance. Local hiring priority for community residents. Minimum of 6 free outdoor concerts annually from April through October. Minimum 6 community events per year. Discounted or free access to indoor facilities for South Brooklyn Arts Organization for at least 6 performances annually. Sound level monitoring to comply with New York City noise regulations, sliding scale rates for local graduations, and establishment of the Community Advisory Committee composed of residents to work with the future operators. The vote was unanimous, 8 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions. Shore use developments, projects in Gravesend, a large-scale residential development proposing 1,457 units, including up to 438 affordable units, with significant emphasis of resiliency and sustainability. This was an informational presentation with no vote required at this time, but please take a look at this. It's a very large project, and it will affect everyone and the peninsula. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions. The board?
Yeah,
I have a question on the, as far as the ULERP, as you mentioned, this is for the Seaside Park. As you mentioned, these conditions are on the RFP. They're not, they don't. We need these conditions on the RFP, but we don't get to vote on the RFP.
Correct.
So
this is like here now.
Why would I vote in favor of the ULERP when we're not gonna get anything? If the ULERP goes, these conditions don't apply to whatever agency of the city fires off their RFP. So I don't see a value in approving, personally, in approving the ULERP for an organization that these are the things parts of these are what we were supposed to have when this originally came out, and the city approved some RFP, and they figured out they can't make any money, and so they just stopped doing anything, and here they are back again requesting an RFP, and not an RFP, requesting a ULERP to operate for, again, an RFP that will have no input on. So personally, I recommend not approving the ULERP.
Okay. Can I share my brief thoughts about the I don't want to say something, but let me answer this. So community board with advisor, we can't risk finding in community board. So we can advise, please, we want to see this and this and that. Yes, they don't have to do it, but we have a right to voice our opinion. That's one thing. And another thing I want to say about the you saying they are back again. Well, not exactly, because a producer, the organization who decided to have community arts center was EDC, and that professional who studied what community needs. So I believe they did extensive research, and they said this community needs community arts center for 6,000 or 5,000 people, and that will bring community revitalization. That's the idea. So let's continue this venue with this idea and get community involved. If we didn't succeed in the past 10 years, it doesn't mean we can't do it now. let's move forward.
Angela.
Of course.
We're trying to get a seat at the table. Okay, and if we don't open our mouths and reject our wishes, we're never gonna get that. It's just like, similar, maybe similar to the fiscal needs of the community, it's a wish list. But if we don't get a seat at the table, then they'll do what they want, at least, EDC will show them the list of things that we want in the community at Art Center, and they will put that into a contract or a relevant developer who does the, EULA, okay? So, that'll be all part of the, EIS and everything else. So that's basically it. Elaine?
I would like to add. We were just reminded by the gentleman from the charter committee about ULA. So this condition came up not because somebody liked how it's done. I can say that those conditions came up, and we spoke with the Justin Brennan office, and we are on the same page. So even though we are advisory, okay, and I can bring back City of Yes again, because we were pushing for some conditions and they were included in city council approval for City of Yes. I still do not like it, okay? So this ULA will not be approved by the only, as of now, approval agency, it's city council, approval body, without condition. So that's why, number one, we want some kind of accountability and we want some report again. If you won't know, we are advisory, we have so many examples of voting no, but city borough president says yes, city planning says yes, city council says yes. So for us, like Jeff said, and he's absolutely right, to have a place on the table and talk about that. That's why.
So correct. I agree with it. Even if we vote no, this show must go on.
Yeah. Okay, the came out of committee and the vote was 8 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions, 0 recusals. Okay, motion was approved. Barbara?
Okay, so we're voting on yes or no for this ULA.
The ULA, this condition.
With conditions, with the conditions.
With conditions, 8 conditions, you have it in your.
Demetrius Blau. Yeah. Keisha Bowers. Deborah Carter. Gloria Gibalova.
Yes.
Jennifer Dublin.
Yes.
Natasha Franklin. Roman Geddes.
Yes.
Ronald Greenberg.
Yes.
Barbara Gravel. Thomas Hopel. Maxine Ibadan. Jacqueline Johnson. Angela Kravchenko.
Yes.
Gloria Krugelet. Melissa Mai.
Yes.
Elena Mockman.
Yes.
Minnie Mankita.
Yes.
Mark Marnick.
No.
Christian Malieri. Maria Montalvo. Alan Newman.
Hughes.
Robin Parasite.
Yes.
Nidra.
Yes.
Milagros Claus. Cameron Kupsky.
Yes.
Jeffrey Sanoff.
Yes.
Fran Schwartz. Tatiana Siegel.
Yes.
Michael Silverman.
Yes.
Vladislav Spector.
Yes.
Jennifer Thorpe Muscone.
Yes.
Andrei Tikhomorov. Vanya Vasilevsky.
Yes.
Dennis Vidaris. Joanne White.
Yes.
Annette Wesley. Svetlana Zelnitsky.
That's it.
Do we want to talk about the public safety committee?
I had a meeting, but unfortunately we didn't have forums. It's just an informational meeting from the QT. And I can just say, we had a meeting, it was just an informational meeting, we did not have a quorum. The Q team was there to give us a follow-up for the summer. It was a very informative, interesting meeting. Unfortunately, it doesn't count. So what I'm asking you, please, if you are on a committee and you will along, we can't function if we don't have a quorum. So everything's gonna fall back to the board meetings and we'll be here forever. So when you have a committee meeting, please try your best to come so that we have a forum at our meetings and can get work done. Thank you.
Moving on, Transportation Committee will lead to the lower chair. And you would change the vice chair. Leader.
Good evening, everybody. So we had transportation committee meeting during which we discussed a few issues within the MTA, including safety issues, issues of noise, issues of bus terminal not covering people during the rain, and other things you could just read in the notes. You will see the full report in the minutes that Barbara made. We also have 4 items that we have to vote on. One of the 3 items were for the street co-naming. We had 3 applications for street co-naming, and we have people, I think, that or in support of this application sitting in the room. You could ask them questions if you have to, but the 3 applications that came for street co-naming was for Anne Maria Briza Way, Shabbat Ocean View Jewish Center, and Brandon Harris Way. Briefly, Anne Maria Briza was a guard, a crossing guard, and she worked on that corner for many years. The Assemblyman Colton supported the application. She was involved in bringing the city bus, B64, I believe, the bus back, and she was beloved cross guard on that corner. And the family applied, and they went through application. They collected all number of the petitions required, and the committee voted for this in favor of this application. We had a quorum, 4 were in favor, and no one opposed, abstained, or recused. There's another application for Shabbat Hashem Jewish Center in honor of this Jewish center that was existing for 19 years. There was also Rabbi Okanov who presented the case, and this I'm assuming that a lot of people know about this organization and their work. There was community members who supported that application as well, and was supported by Councilwoman Bernikov. It was also voted in favor, 4, opposed 0, abstained 0, recused 0. And the 3rd application was for Brandon Harris, a young man who lived in Konyal, worked in NYCHA buildings, and he was involved with mentoring local kids, and he was very active in the community, and he passed in during COVID times while job, and family applied for to call the street where he worked for his name. The committee also voted for that. In favor of that, it was 4 in favor, opposed 0, abstained 0, recused 0. And also we have another item that we have to vote for. It came out of the committee. It was supported by the committee about the embargo on the train construction works on the weekends. You have to see the full motion in a minute. It's basically to prohibit MT to make any construction during the summer season, and explore the ways to bring more transportation for people who wants to attend Konyalik activities during the weekend. So I don't know how we want to proceed.
Well, I'm gonna do is the first 3 discrete names, we'll do 1 vote on it. Okay, and then we'll do a second vote on the motion.
Okay.
Came out of committee, so there's no motion to approve. Barbara?
Now, if you're in favor of all the street naming, please just say all. Otherwise, if you're not in favor of one, just say which one. On the trees below, all. Lakeisha Bowers, all. Deborah Carter. Lolita Dibalova, all. Jennifer Dublin, all. Roman Giddis, all. Greenberg, all. Barbara Gabel. Thomas Hopeful, all. Maxine Ivanov, all. Jacqueline Johnson, all. Angela Kravchenko, all. Victoria Kubeletz, all. Melissa Mai. Yep. All. Elena Martin. Yes, all. Winnie Mampia. All. Mark Marick. Yes, to all. Christian Molieri. All. Maria Montalvo. All. Alan Newman. Yes. All. Robin Patterson. All. Nigel. Cameron Covey. All. Jeffrey Stanley. All. Branch Wood. All. Tatiana Spiegel. All. Michael Silverman. All. Gladys Becker. All. Jennifer Thorpe. All. Andre Tickamore. Good. Tanya Pikalevsky. All. Dennis Figueres. Joanne Weiss. Yes, so. Annette Wesley. All. And Svetlana Zonskaya. Demetrius Brown.
Is it
Before I go to the down.
summer?
Hey, when we're down.
Summer weekends.
Motion made by Lolita Dubalova, seconded by Maxim Ivanov, that the MTA implement a summer embargo on weekends, May through October, for planned construction projects that would temporarily reduce capacity on the subway lines that terminate at Stillwell Avenue, and that the MTA instead explore ways to enhance rider capacity, that is, bringing the G train service down and adding weekend B service during this embargo period. The vote was 4 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions, and 0 recusals. Motion approved.
Are you voting for embargo or nothing?
Yes. Yes.
Demetrius Brown. Keisha Bowers. Deborah Carter. Lolita Dibalova.
Yes.
Jennifer Dublin. Yes. Roman Giddis.
Yes.
Ronald Greenberg. Barbara Gabel. Thomas Hopeful. Maxime Ivanov.
Hell yeah.
Jacqueline Johnson. Yeah. Angela Kravchenko. Yes. Victoria Kubeletz. Yes. Melissa Mai. Yes. Elena Martin. Yes. Minnie Manchuda. Yes. Mark Marick.
Yes.
Kim Molieri. Yes. Maria Montalvo. Alan Newman. Yes. Robin Patterson. Yeah. Milagros Fuller. Cameron Covey. Jeffrey Stanley.
Yes.
Branch Wood. Yes. Tatiana Spiegel.
Yes.
Michael Silverman.
Yes.
Vladislav Spector. Jennifer Thorpe Mustone.
Yes.
Andre Tickamore. Tanya Vasilevsky. Yes. Dennis Gutierrez. Joanne White. Yes. Annette Wesley. Yes. Svetlana Zonskaya. Yes.
Thank you all for supporting committee decision. If somebody has a question. Okay. So we discussed the issue of the noise coming from the trains. A lot of people supported that. We asked for the noise reports from the MTA.
They promised us noise reports and see what they done to decrease the noise. We also spoke about express buses coming to Coney Island. A lot of people not happy with the way they're coming and they have to connect to other buses and they have to pay double fare for that. We also spoke about the overcoating project that got stuck. Looks like they will not finish it on time. I don't know why, but we weren't given the specific reasons for that, but it's going to be delayed. Yes. Yeah, it was mostly with a subcontractor. I think that was the issue, but they didn't specify what exactly was the issue. We also spoke about the fact that when people waiting for the bus on Stillwell Station, the water is coming down and people will get wet even on the covered locations. There was an issue of 36. Yeah, there was it's more like a local issue. There was an issue that of the 36 buses that people were not happy that they're making this circle and don't bring people, don't take people. They're just having their rest stop, but don't on the west end side. So people were not happy and they were asking to make sure that people are picked up and not dropped off on non-safe and cold locations, especially during winter. Yes.
36 bus, right? It says black.
Yes.
Everybody get off the bus.
Right.
We don't know.
That's what was the issue. That was the request. So yeah, so they're still going around. So the request was maybe to address this issue. And it was, yes, Anya? Clean the station. Yes. He just put it down as one of the items, but yes, Fania brought up the subject of pillars, peeling paint from pillars, and she asked if it could be covered or addressed, but as usual, they put it down. And let's see, we had a list of requests that we made, and hopefully it all will be addressed.
The column.
Yes. But Angela brought with the councilwomen before and with assemblywomen the fact that it was also contained lead that paint, but they still mum on that.
So for the paint, the old paint that you see in all as a subway lane, especially at Brighton, it has lead in it. And there is no safe amount of lead, so it's everywhere. It goes on the produce, on the
Spread around.
Should be. But the enemy is MTA, DOT, and mayor's office 2 years ago. Okay, MTA gave their price in order to pay the pillars and only pillars. I'm not talking about the top, which is important as well. MTA simply said we have no money.
Yeah.
Okay, so it should be addressed to state elected officials, because I sent my letter. I don't know about community board. I sent my letter to Senator Scarcella Planton, because in order to get it done, it should be put in a budget. Otherwise, they're not getting it done.
So the budget is done basically, so I don't think it was put in the budget. Yeah, we should.
Depends on the schedule. They gave me 2 prices because we are dealing with union and we are dealing with prevalent wage. In order to paint pillars from Brighton Beach Avenue, from Ocean Parkway to Coney Island, one schedule and $100,000. The second schedule, $150,000. You can build a house for this.
I think it only place when they made it was in Williamsburg. They actually addressed that. In Williamsburg, they covered it. Maybe we'll be next. Thank you.
New business.
What about?
Good motion. Okay. Any good motion? Okay. New business. Elena. Motion.
You business.
Combination.
Sunday, this coming Sunday, on October 25th, it would be an event, joint event to Brighton Business Improvement District, children wide. It starts at 11 o'clock for kids and 4 o'clock for adults. But it's not only concept, it's not only fun for kids, it's election related event. Because we have special program, we would have cars, it's gonna be next day, second day of the election. If you need a ride, your voting poll, please come, have fun with us, and we're gonna drive you. That's my good and well. So now new business. Aside explained many times, when we have renewals for liquor, licenses applications, and now it's for cannabis, adult dispensary. We just bring it to community board like FYI. And no letter sent to liquor authority until we inform you and in case you have any issue. So under new business, there are two renewals. One is adult use retail dispensary license, Tikilis LLC, 1511 Action Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11224. Okay, yeah, I see. 11224, it's here. So time flies. Any comment? The second renewal for variable place to renew wine, beer, and cider license for Coney Island, USA Inc. DBA Great Bar and 224. Any objections, any comments to any? Okay, letter will be sent by community board to state legal authority tomorrow Friday. Okay, we have all business, it's a little bit more, we have to vote and that's why I asked to change agenda, so it can be the final roll. Last year, one of the establishments located in the area, it's Tura, it's EEE Albanese Inc. Tura located 1215 Surf Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, came to community board 13 for a class change. Originally, they were approved for a beer, wine, and cider license. Okay, but last year they came to us for a class change, applying for a new liquor license. And it was approved by. Stop so we can hear. Thank you very much. Okay, it was approved by licensing committee and for family reason, family related reason. Application was never filed fully to state liquor board. So they have to reapply. We did not have a meeting since application was sent, all the application in your application were sent to all committee members. It's all the same, nothing changed. But we need community board 13 to reaffirm in order to send a letter to state legal authority. So even motion, it's not coming from committee, and I would be so happy if I would help with it.
Okay, a motion to reaffirm the previously approved application for class change for Chiron Restaurant located at 1215 Surf Avenue.
Anybody would be so nice to second? Wait. Oh my God, actually not. Let's ask to be there, okay. Okay.
Before we take a vote, okay, I was advised that it was one of the president who wanted to do a good and welfare. Melissa, now?
Do it now.
Do it now.
We have to do it now before we vote. Once we vote, we're out of here. You have to do it now. You can do the last. It's just about the safety.
Very short. Yes, hi everyone. I just want to tell you about some bad experience happened to me in the street. And it was very short, but it tells a lot. Yesterday I was in Bath Avenue next to the precinct 62. And I checked out from the supermarket. I found someone sprayed my car with the black paint because of the sticker I put it on my car. I put Israeli flag and I put Trump sign, okay? But I couldn't find who did it. And I have been advised to go to the prison to tell them that. Actually, that was worse. I went to them this morning and they said, no, you have to call, then we send a car. I did it and I kept calling and they keep answering. But finally, no one came until now. No one said anything, nothing, zero. The problem is that makes me feel not safe, not just for myself, but for the community, for some people. And I don't think that one knows who I am exactly, but that could happen to anyone. And I don't know why the police didn't come. Maybe they think it's something little and it doesn't work, but I don't know what they're looking for. To be more serious, someone get injured or something like that. I don't know. Finally, as a member in the safety committee, I think, unfortunately, our street not that much safe, and this is not good. Maybe if I meet someone, I can fight or do something or defend myself, but there's other people who cannot do that, and that encourages the bad people to do what they want, because most of them they know the law, they know what's the reaction of the police, unfortunately. But I don't know why they didn't respond. I don't know why that guy or that one just sprayed my car. I don't know next time. Maybe they were trying to hit me. But finally, I will not move my sticker, whatever it is. Thank you very much.
Melissa, one second.
Yes, ma'am.
Please send all of your complaints to me personally at the CV and copy Eddie, okay? And we'll follow him.
Yes, thank you very much.
Application was this.
62, yeah. 62 in Bath Avenue. Yes.
Who's the hand spoke you?
Yes, yes, I'd love to have that.
Okay, but send, I'd like to get it personally to myself, and I could write some letters to the borough president. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So go ahead.
I don't know what the policy. I don't know what the policy of community board 13. But I believe that all sheets will live here, and last Friday had a demonstration in our community. Free Palestine. I know we are not political party, but we're a community, and it affects us. All Jews who live here, it affects us. And as this lady before they said that it affects her once her husband encountered this bigotry, it affects all of us. So I believe if it's possible, so the community could make a statement against this kind of demonstration in our community.
Anya, cannot make a statement. It was the man. It was the man.
Fine, this is a political thing, we don't go into politics yet, okay? And Whatever side you're on, okay? That's the side you're on, okay? We don't make political statements one way or the other at the community board. We are not a political club. Thank you. Okay, so that's it. I want to get everybody out of here on time if I usually do, okay? And I got 9 minutes yet, the 9 minutes. Take a roll.
Yeah.
Yes, the chair.
Wait. This is for the chair.
Please repeat the motion.
Yeah. For the problem. Oh, wait,
Don't, if you're a first year member, don't forget it.
yeah.
They give you that.
All right, first year, come over here, I'm gonna get it from Luke.
Why is why roll call thing? We're voting now.
Do you want the motion?
Yeah, because we had a motion on the floor and we shouldn't have brought up other business. I feel sorry that we didn't catch it early enough, but we should never have gone down that path since there was a motion on the floor.
The motion was to reaffirm the previously approved application for class change for Toro Restaurant, 1215 South Avenue.
Yes,
We have a second?
you have a second? Go ahead.
Joanne second.
Go ahead.
You?
Make the motion, Joanne. Demetrius Brown. Yes. Lakeisha Ballard. Deborah Carter. Lolita Jamalova. Jennifer Dublin. Yes. Natasha Franklin. Roman Giddens.
Yeah.
Selena, sorry, Ron Greenberg. Yeah. Barbara Govell. Thomas Hopel.
Yeah.
Maxim Ibadan. Jacqueline Johnson. Yeah. Angela Kravchenko. Yes. Gloria Kubelik. Melissa Mine.
Yes.
Elena Markman. Yes. Minnie Mankita. Yes. Mark Marnick.
Yes.
Connie Henry. Uma Talbot. Alan Newman. Yes. Robert Harris. Yes. Sandra. Milagros Bullock. Amber Copsey. Deputy Candler. Frank Schwartz. Tatiana Kima. Michael Silva.
No.
Gladys Fox.
Wait, guys, sit up.
Jennifer Thorpe Moscone.
Yes.
I'm Victor Gamaro. Good. Tanya Vasilevsky. Yes. Dennis McDarren. Kelly White. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Mr. Chair, a quick point of information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a cannabis license approval workshop that we're all hosting. Yeah, tomorrow at 6 p.m. So, man, in your email.
Yes. Yeah. Learn about it. Okay, people are, and when people work that, right? Orientation or what? Virtual.
No, I wouldn't leave. Because Lucas sent it to me. Move on. Are you free? Look at you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, person. Let me see email from me. Yeah. That's what they're on Apple. Good person. Where did that win? Good one, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, we're referring by. You would not. Yeah. Okay. It's So you guys did next year. Thank you.